really enjoy starting the day outside with a cup of coffee and the sound from an open fire. It helps me clear my mind and be present in the moment, much like my coffee routine while I'm out traveling with my motorcycle. Even if I know that I should be inside working on my new project. Many would probably call it procrastination. You know, that voluntary but unnecessary delay of a task, despite knowing it will result in negative consequences. I do think it's an emotional regulation issue. A way to avoid stress or anxiety by prioritizing temporary distractions, more than it's a lack of willpower or what we refer to as laziness. What if procrastination is a made-up word we allow ourselves to use or label us with, in a world that prioritizes quantity over quality? Any moment you are not actively producing something is viewed as wasted time. So for the act of simply not doing anything right now, procrastination becomes that perfect label to guilt trip you into getting back at it. When we label ourselves as procrastinators, we bypass what is actually happening under the hood. In creative fields like video making, writing or design, what looks like stalling is often crucial cognitive processing. Your brain is actively turning an idea over in the background, letting connections form naturally. If you force the output early just to cross it off a to-do list, the quality usually suffers. By calling it procrastination, we let a productivity-obsessed culture tell us that our periods of rest, thought, or hesitation are moral failures, rather than an essential part of a high-quality process. I think it's funny that we had to make up a word for wanting to stop, breathe, and let an idea rest for a while. I think it's true kind of moment, spending some time in the now to quality control yourself. Maybe that's why I love writing so much. You are completely away from distractions and focus in the now. A good friend of mine once said, all adventure riders either run away from something or running towards something. For me, that was absolutely true for a while, but now I think it's much more to it than that. Sometimes we just need to eliminate noise, lower the expectation that comes with a certain task, or just stop being busy. So the next time you feel that pull to just sit, to take a look at a fire, or to stare out the window, don't call it a delay. Call it what it actually is. Preparation. Let the idea rest. The work will still be there when you get back. But on the other side, what if you reject the word procrastination entirely? If you do, you completely change the narrative. Instead of looking at yourself and saying, I'm procrastinating on this project, it becomes much better and a lot more honest to say, I'm resting because I'm burned out. Or, I'm giving this idea room to breathe because I care about the final quality. Because once you admit that, you have to ask yourself what you're actually going to do about it. For me, the answer isn't trying to squeeze more hours out of an empty tank. And it's definitely not doom scrolling on my phone or feeding myself countless distractions just to pass the time. But let's be honest, there's a trap here too. It's incredibly easy to hide behind the phrase, I'm just waiting for the right creative spark, because that protects us from the fear of making something imperfect. If the diagnosis is burnout, the medicine isn't a better to-do list, and it isn't waiting around for inspiration to strike. It is changing the environment entirely, its distance. So I ride, not to escape the work, but to remember what it feels like to have a clear mind. Because you can't create anything meaningful when you're running on fumes. For some, adventures are all about the adrenaline, the rush from riding and the challenges they encounter on the trips, like a flat tire or breakdowns. This is when the true adventure starts, right? Well, for me, it's more about silence, slowing down, enjoy the small things in life and exploring new places I haven't been before. I have chased enough adrenaline in my life. When I stop forcing myself to think, my creative mind finally has space to breathe. And then is when it usually happens. The solution to the project I left behind just appears. While my hands are busy doing simple tasks, like pitching the tent, gathering firewood or waiting for the coffee water to boil, the clutter from the studio just starts to drift away. It turns out the best way to solve a problem at the desk is stop looking at it. So we return to the question, what are you actually gonna do about it? The answer is right here. You accept that some days requires input and some days requires output. The guilt is gone now. The noise has been filtered out and the idea didn't die because I walked away from it. It grew. So if you are like me, if you get easily distracted or feel like you are procrastinating all the time, maybe it's time to stop fighting it. Stop trying to force the output. Switch task, change your environment, or just go for a ride. Give your mind the space it actually needs to work. Because quality takes time. And sometimes the most productive thing you can do is step away.